I've got one of our most popular no chop recipes for you today, and we're gonna do it using a brand new Well Your World product. I'll tell you all about it. Here we go. Hey everybody, this is Dylan. One thing I have learned over the years is that if you want to stick to a plant-based diet forever, you've got to make it really, really simple. And that means awesome dishes like this one today. I call it the Starch Blaster. If you haven't had it, boy, you should start. There was a time in my life when I ate this thing every single day. This recipe is entirely no chop. We're gonna do it in the Instant Pot. You don't have to do it in the Instant Pot, but the easiest version possible, you'll want to do it in the Instant Pot, whether it's a little 3-quart or a 6-quart, whatever. We are making Starch Blaster today, which is exactly what it sounds like. A lot of starches that will fill you up and require almost no effort to put together. And I have found, like I said, that if you want to stick to this every day, you need some days where you don't have to do any work, but you're still eating healthy food. We've got a brand new product I'm going to show you today. It's our dried veggie blend. It is a beautiful mix of dried veggies. I always used a different veggie blend when I used to make Starch Blaster. You don't have to use our product, but you should, because this is the highest quality veggie blend ever. It has so many more vegetables than all the other blends. This thing's got carrots, onions, celery, tomatoes. It's got bell pepper, broccoli, peas, zucchini, cabbage, leeks, everything in here. It adds so much flavor to the dish, and it adds a little nutrition too. Am I right? Because veggies. We are making Starch Blaster. If you've never had it, then this is the greatest day of your life, because it is going to save you so much time and energy. There are days when you just don't want to do any effort, but you still got to eat. All Starch Blaster is you take an Instant Pot or a regular pot on the stove. It just takes longer, but an Instant Pot, and we're going to throw in a bunch of starches. That's why we call it Starch Blaster, believe it or not. If you're making a 6-quart, and I do recommend it, this keeps just fine in the fridge if you don't finish it all, but I can eat on my own if I'm hungry pretty much a 6-quart Instant Pot of Starch Blaster. I'll eat like 5+ bowls of this stuff. It is so good and filling and hearty and hot, and I just love it. All you gotta do is pick 5 dry starches. This is peasant food. I always call this dish especially peasant food. It's just the cheapest food that money can buy. I've picked my favorites. These are the ones that I pretty much always have these 4 in, and that is regular lentils, I guess you call them brown lentils, and red lentils. Throw them in. This is just a dry Instant Pot so far. I'm using the 6-quart, but I have definitely made smaller batches in a 3-quart too. Just cut it in half, experiment. There's no set recipe to this. You just follow your heart. Quinoa, excellent. You could use millet. You can use brown rice. Green split peas. I love the flavor of green split peas. They turn into just mush, and they thicken this up into a nice creamy consistency. So I've just thrown a 1/2 cup of 4 starches. Reeves has made you a wonderful formulator. Click down in the description box of this video. You could formulate your own Starch Blaster using all kinds of different crazy ideas. A can of beans. Sometimes I'll just throw a can of beans in there.
Anything you have laying around the fridge?
Definitely anything you have laying around the fridge. If you want to chop, you can, but you want to save time, use my dried veggie mix. I've always made Starch Blaster with a dried veggie mix, but never one this good. This is the absolute bee's knees. So I've got a heaping 1/2 cup, probably closer to 1 cup of my veggie mix. Throw it in there. Here it is. It's for sale right now on the Well Your World website. It's a nice big bottle, so it'll last you a bit. You don't have to chop, and you get all the delicious flavor and nutrition from the veggies. So check it out on our site. We'd love for you to try it out and tell us what you think. Free shipping to the USA on all orders of $50 or more. Don't forget. And if you're a member of our live cooking show, you get 10% off every single order you place on our store, whether it's food or shirts, whatever. Next up, one of my favorite ingredients in a Starch Blaster is pasta. I know you're thinking, what? Pasta in the Instant Pot is gonna be totally mushy. What is this guy thinking? Well, I used to do it with whole wheat pasta, and it would be really mushy, and I loved it. I love mushy pasta. But now I use this red lentil penne. The Barilla brand is the only one that doesn't turn into absolute mush. And I'm saying not like mushy like I was just saying with the whole wheat pasta. I'm saying mushy like it will just fall apart back into the flour form, and it'll coat the bottom of your Instant Pot, and you'll get the burn warning that you've burned the bottom of your Instant Pot. So don't use just any old pasta. Like if you're using gluten-free, I really recommend the red lentil penne. They also have the rotini, and I use about a 1/2 cup. Otherwise, try whole wheat pasta. It'll be a little mushy, but it won't fall apart and mess up your Instant Pot. So keep that in mind. Next, soy curls. I love a little bit of richness. As you know, soy curls are a little bit more fat. They're still starch. They're still a bean. All this is a soybean in its whole form that's been cooked and then dried into these little strips. And they give sort of a meaty texture to the food, but even more important than that, they add richness because there's a little bit of fat. I want a little bit of that to keep me coming back for bowl number 3, 4, 5. If you've never heard of soy curls, check them out on Amazon. It's way better than TVP. I get a lot of questions. Is TVP the same as soy curls? TVP is textured vegetable protein. No, that is more processed. Part of it has been removed and defatted. The soy curls are actually a whole food ingredient. That's why I love them so much. I buy them in a big box, freeze them, and use them for months. So that is all of the different main ingredients that I put in the Starch Blaster. Now we gotta add flavor. What else do we like to put into the Starch Blaster? A can of tomatoes from time to time. Here's just a simple, no salt added diced tomatoes. Why not? I mean, it adds lots of flavor. I don't always put the can of tomatoes in, but I'm gonna show it to you with the can of tomatoes. Here we go, can of tomatoes jumping in the tank.
Even though Starch Blaster doesn't take a lot of thought, do you ever go for like a specific vibe or flavor profile?
I definitely do. Thank you for asking. One thing I always love to throw in is a little bit of nutritional yeast. Here's the Well Your World non-fortified nooch. You can buy that on our website too. I'll just take like a handful, you know, a couple tablespoons or so. You can sprinkle it on top too when you serve it. To answer your question, you can put any flavoring in now. Now it just comes down to the spice mix, blend, individual spices, whatever you want to throw in. I often do this with plain old Italian. Maybe I'll do it with some curry. I love it with curry seasoning or cumin, paprika, whatever flavors you know you like, throw them in. Make sure you use a fair amount because this is, you know, a sizable pot. You don't want your food to come out bland. But the nice thing is you can always add more after you open it up, okay? But here's what we're doing. This is where the Well Your World products really do shine. My favorite thing to put in here is galaxy dust. I'll just take it and do it just the same as I did the nooch. I'll take a good tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of a spice blend and throw it right in. I love the galaxy dust. I'll do the voodoo, so good in this. It's not hot, it's just got a little bit of a Cajun flavor, but it's sweet too because it has some of our date powder in it. You'll love that one. Fiesta, if you want to do a Mexican flavored one, you can do Fiesta with our chili lime seasoning, which is really good. You could just use Zesty, which is kind of a garlicky, onion, citrusy flavor, and then you can throw in a little bit of Stardust too, just to give it a little bit of a salty flavor. Because obviously this is totally SOS free, no added salt, oil, or sugar, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Oh, we gotta add some water and actually turn it on. How about we do that? I love to add boiling water. It saves time. This is a little Instant Pot hack. You know it takes time when you add just room temp water to the pot to heat up to pressure. So this will save you some time by just adding boiling water, because my stove will heat boiling water way faster than the Instant Pot. Try filling it to the, you know, the half. I almost go to the max fill line, to be honest. I like it a little soupy, but just experiment. Don't worry too much about the water. You're pretty much making a full pot here. So maybe you go a little bit under the max fill line, and if you open it up and it's thicker than you want, add a little bit of water. And if it's too thin, treat it like a soup. You're gonna love it. Next time you can add a little bit less water, and now you know. Like I said, I made this every day for like a year. I'm not even kidding you. It was when I was single, I'll admit. You want to give it a stir because all those starches, once you add the water on top, they could stick to the bottom, and you don't want to start your Instant Pot with stuff already stuck to the bottom. So just give it a nice stir and kind of scrape the bottom a little bit, and boom, we're ready to go. It looks really soupy right now. All of those starches are going to absorb a lot of the liquids. I do high pressure, 20 minutes, and then you can manual release it. Sometimes I'll do 18 minutes, whatever. It's not that exacting of a thing. If I do wild rice, I usually always do 20 because wild rice takes a little bit longer than some of the other starches we added. Just experiment, have a little fun, but follow my guide and Reeves's formulator. We've got a whole blog post breaking it all down for you, and definitely get hold of some of our dried veggie mix. You want to try this out. We've got so many new products coming out this year that we're really excited about. This is our very first one, so please try it out and let us know what you think. Okay, we'll be right back with some Starch Blaster. Starch Blaster, Starch Blaster. Oh, beautiful. That was the perfect amount of water, and I just winged it, and you should too. Look, you can see all the bits of veggie that they've obviously expanded a lot now that they're rehydrated. The tomato, the pasta, and all that starch. This thing is beautiful, and it comes out looking a little different every time. This kind of got an orange color. It could have any different number of colors, okay? This is the way to eat. You have no excuse. You can always eat healthy. You got a little time to make a Starch Blaster. What do we like to do on top? You can eat it just like this. Of course, it is ready to go. But when you eat it as often as I do, you like to change it up a little bit from time to time. So I'll either eat it plain, I'll sprinkle on a little bit of salt, and I'll do it differently for each bowl because I'll eat multiple bowls of this in one meal. Olives, you could chop a few olives on top. Remember, olives are added salt and fat. That's why you just want to use them as a condiment. Take a couple of olives and you can just chop them up, sprinkle them on, add a little bit of richness, a little extra pizzazz to the dish. But it doesn't need it, don't worry. Another thing you could do is a little drizzle of tahini on top to add a little richness. But I'll eat a lot of bowls just plain right out of the Instant Pot. Oh boy. It's creamy. The Galaxy dust is just like so good. The tomatoes are a really nice touch. And you'll be so full and satisfied after eating this. And as you can see, this is a nice big full Instant Pot. You got several meals here you can eat. I just let this thing stay on keep warm, put the lid back on, and I'll just pull a bowl out of it multiple times a day. I'll eat it all day long.
Dinner is coming. Get it?
Yeah, how's starch?
I don't ever get tired of this meal because it's different every time. It's just so good and filling. And it makes you feel good about yourself.
It really does. You're not lying because you've accomplished this thing that is to stick to your diet, your healthy way of eating, and you've done it in a way that tastes good and didn't take barely any effort. How's starch? Dinner is coming.
On sale now in Well Your World store.
If you are struggling to stick to your healthy, whole food, plant-based diet, you have got to bring the Starch Blaster into your life because it will make it so much easier. And be sure to try out a bottle of our dried veggie blend right now for sale in Well Your World store. It's great for this, any kind of soup, stews, it's great for travel, you name it. All the details for how to make your own awesome, tasty, delicious Starch Blaster are down below in the description box of this video. Check it out. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.